Hey, I'm Kelsey. Welcome to your skill-based class. Today we are focusing on snake. So this is a fun one. We'll break it down, we'll deconstruct the movement. We'll start with a nice warm-up to get you connected to our body, and we will fully progress into the classic version of snake today on our Flexia Reformer. So let's start standing. And I'm starting with a blue spring on. This should be good for everybody. I want us to place our hands on our carriage. I have my foot bar on for now. If you don't have your foot bar on to start, it's totally fine. But hands are on your carriage, feet are on the floor. Find a standing quadruped position. We're just going to do a little cat-cow to connect into our body and connect in with our breath. So extend your spine, look forward. Exhale, round your spine, drop your head, scoop, look between your legs. Inhale, look forward and lengthen. Spread your sit bones. Exhale, scoop, round. Feel connection to your core. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round and scoop. So we're going to add a little bit more movement to this. You might need to step your feet back a smidge, hook your hands towards the edge of your carriage, bend into your knees, press the carriage away, and then exhale, round scoop. My foot bar is up a little high, which is fine. My chest hits it a bit. If your chest hits yours, that's totally fine. We're just kind of focusing on breath, getting our spine to do a little flexion extension, getting now our shoulder girdle a little bit more connected. So it doesn't have to be a huge stretchy movement right now, just getting into it. Good, let's just do two more. And last one. Good. Bring it all the way in and roll yourself all the way up. Perfect. So from here, we're going to focus a little bit on balance. This isn't like the primary goal of snake, but single leg balance and stabilization is huge. We're obviously going to be working a lot of side body, but finding our single-legged balance stability is hugely important for the rest of the movement. So what I want us to do, bring your hands onto the foot bar, bring your right hand onto the foot bar, take your left off. You're going to just lift your left heel, balance on your standing right leg. You're going to open your left leg out, bring it up and around, find that balance, right? Feel that full length down through your right leg, and then set your left foot down onto your carriage with the heel off. Now, both of your hands are going to come onto your foot bar, but keep it super light, right? So I don't want you to be all of your weight on your hands. It's a very light grip. Reconnect in with the standing right leg, and we're just going to kick out and track back in, okay? So this is just a simple warm-up for us. And again, if your back of leg hits your foot bar, that's totally fine. It gives you that good tactile connection. But really what I want you to be focusing on is what's happening here with the standing leg and creating that sense of length, that line from heel all the way up through the glute, because this is going to be our foundation for the rest of the movements today. Good. Let's go for 3 and 2. Last one. Pull it all the way in, and let's briefly bring our hands behind our head, and we're going to go into a calf raise. So you're going to just lift the heel, again, focusing on balance. Lift the heel on the right side and lower down. We're just going to do a few here. And as we come up, I want you to keep your head drawn back into your hands and feel the sensation of going straight up instead of your body shifting forward. Let's just do 3 more here. And 2. Last one. Good. Lower it down. Balance. Bring your right hand back onto the foot bar. Lift. Hold your right foot up. You're going to sweep it around, balance, 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 and then set it down. Beautiful. Let's go to the other side. So left hand comes on to the foot bar. We're going to stand on our left leg. Just lift your right heel. Feel the connection down through the left leg. And then you're going to lift the right foot off the floor, open the knee, circle the leg around, drop your foot down, root down through the heel. We'll bring both hands now onto the foot bar. Find the lift, find your posture, and we will kick out and in. Good. And again, it's not about really this kicking leg. It's more about what's happening in our standing leg. So you want to create that sense of stability and connection, even though we're moving through our right leg. Good. Let's go for 4 and 3, 2, one more. Good. We're going to pull it all the way in. Reset. Hands come behind the head. Stand tall. Find your posture. And we're going to go into our calf raise on the left side. Lift straight up. Balance, hold. And lower it down. Good. So again, finding the balance, creating that connection through the left line of the body, down through the left leg. This is our foundation for the rest of the movement sequences that we're going to go through today. So really be intentional in creating this connection and finding your stability here first. Last one. Beautiful. All right, so left hand comes down. Lift your right heel. Lift the whole foot. Balance on that standing left leg. Sweep it around and set the foot down. Fantastic. All right, so step over. I'm going to step over to the left side of your reformer. I still have the blue spring on. So we're now going to sort of find our fit for snake. And depending on height and size, it might be a little bit different for everybody. I have for myself right now just sort of our standard setup. If you're on the shorter side, I would take your shoulder block and drop it down a notch so it's a little closer to you. Everyone, like I said, is going to be different. So I want you to take the time here to see how it all feels. And also, if the weight feels too heavy or too light, you can adjust from there as well. But first thing that we're going to do is just feel what it feels like for our upper body now. We got our lower body connected. So from here, we're going to work on arm placement. So right hand is going to hook at the edge of your carriage here, sort of towards the edge of this foot bar, further away from you. Left hand is going to come to the top of the shoulder block. For now, I want you to just bring your feet together, and I'm sort of lined up 6 inches or so away from the leg of the reformer. And you're just going to lean forward, lengthen your spine, and hold this. Now, again, if this feels like way too wide apart and way too far, you can also, and the shoulder block being dropped in is still too far, you can always just place a hand sort of on the carriage like this. So do what feels right for your body. I'm going to stay here, and we're just going to shift the carriage away. So you're going to shift out with your arms and shift out with your hips, and then pull it back in. So I want us all to just start to feel that connection. This is the base of what's going to happen with our movement, is just this translation left to right. So I want you to trust your body here and the way it feels for everything to sort of glide out together. Good. Let's just do one more. Okay. So now we're going to bring a little bit more connection and awareness to what is happening with our feet. When you're on this side of your reformer, all of us, our right hip is closest to the foot bar. This is going to be your stabilizing leg. So maybe step a little bit closer to the leg of the reformer. You're going to take your left foot and hook it in front of your right foot. So I just kind of, right now, I'm just kind of on the toe, sort of like this, but all of my weight is down through the standing right leg. I'm going to lean forward again. Right hand comes onto the edge of the carriage. Left hand is going to come onto the shoulder block. Now we're going to go into more of a fuller expression of what snake looks like, but from the ground. So I'm stabilizing on my standing right leg. Left foot is hooked. And I'm going to lean now all the way out. And it sort of feels like a side plank, but it's a bit more arm work and more shoulder girdle connection. And then I'm going to drop my head and pike my hips back up and in. Good. So again, as you get more into this full movement, right now for me, this feels a little heavy on my shoulders. If this feels like way too heavy on your shoulders, definitely drop it down a notch. So you could take it down to like an orange or something if that works better for your body. And what I want you to sort of secondarily feel, especially as you come back up, is the connection to your left oblique. Let's just do one more. Good. Bring it in and then stand it up, and we'll take it to the other side. So I'll walk over now to my right side. I'll turn and face. My right hand is going to come onto the shoulder block further away. My left hand is at the edge of the carriage. For now, I'm just going to bring my feet together, squeeze my legs together, just to get the shoulder connection. So you're going to shift out and in. And again, this first bit of movement is just to kind of create that trust in your body of like, okay, what's happening? I'm leaning my body weight with the carriage. I'm having to stabilize with my shoulders. You know, it's just getting that first bit of movement and what it should feel like. Perfect. And then from here, we'll incorporate more of what's going to happen with our feet. So left leg closest to the foot bar is our stabilizer. I'm going to hook my right around, come back to that positioning. And now we'll go into the fuller expression of the movement and shift out. And then you'll pike up. Good. Shift away. And you can lift your head and feel that bit of length down your side body. And then as you bring it in, you want to pike it up. One more. Good. And then step it in. I'm going to step around to the other side again. So we have shoulder girdle connection, upper body connection, balance and stability on right and left legs. Now I want us to activate obliques more before we go into the final variation of the movement. So put on a white spring. I'm going to put on a white spring. If this feels like way too light for you, definitely put on an orange. So play with those variations. White spring on. My hands are going to come onto the foot bar first. I want you to carefully stand up onto your reformer. Don't worry too much about the feet here because it'll be slightly different when we get to the fuller expression. But what I would like for you to do is have your right foot in front of your left foot, facing this direction. So the inside leg closest to the foot bar is in front of the back leg. Shoulders are going to stay over hands. We're going to take this now just into our side plank. You're going to inhale, kick your carriage open, look forward, feel this length through your obliques, and then exhale, pike up. Good. So as I mentioned, now is the oblique activation. This is where we're really going to feel that side body turn on and light up a lot more. But we want to get each individual aspects of this movement turned on and activated before we pull it all together at the end. So you inhale, open, exhale, pike and pull it up. Let's just do 3 more on this side. Last one. Good, and pull it in. Right foot steps off behind you. We'll step around and go to the other side. So I'll step over to the right side of my reformer. Hands come onto the foot bar first. Feet step on, and I didn't mention this on the other side, but you want like your feet to be, I don't know, 5 to 6 inches away from the edge of the carriage. And my left foot that is closer to the foot bar is forward, and my right foot is back. Shoulders stay over hands. Inhale, open the carriage, feel the length through the left obliques, and then activate them by piking the hips up. Inhale, open, and exhale, pike. And again, here you want to keep shoulders over hands and your shoulder girdle very stable through this variation. Good. 3 more. And 2. Last one. Okay. So obliques should be fully turned on now, and our body is ready to go. So taking it into full snake, I want us to take our foot bar off just so that it's out of the way. So pop it off and set it down to the side. Also, if you have a tendency of having feet that sweat easily, feel free to either have on like grip socks or put some sort of sticky pad down onto the railing, because we're going to be balancing with our feet on the rail. So if you need a moment, go grab socks, go grab a sticky pad, whatever feels right for you. But I definitely want you to be conscious if you have a tendency to be slippery. Let's make sure we fix that before we jump on. So I'm going to take the white spring off and put on a black. Okay. So now we're going to balance, as I said, standing on the railing. So as I mentioned before, the leg that's closest to foot bar or towards this edge of your carriage or reformer is your stabilizer. So I'm going to step that foot on first and get my balance or get my grasp of like where my body is at in space with my foot here. And again, if you need to make adjustments to where your hand placement is, we're going to definitely want to do that before we fully pop up into that side plank variation. Right hand is going to go at the edge of your carriage. Left hand is going to reach out to the shoulder block. I have long arms. If you need to bring a hand here, that's totally fine. But I'm going to stabilize here first, press down into my right foot, lift my hips, hook my left foot in front of my right ankle, and now I'm in position to take it into snake. And you're going to inhale and shift out. Drop the hip, lift your head, feel that length through the left side body, and then pike and pull it in. And this is our full expression of snake. Good. And again, we're staying stable through shoulder girdle as we move through this. Good. 2 more. Last one. Hold it, unhook the left, step it down, stand on up, and we will go over to the other side. So same setup on this side. Standing, stabilizing leg is our left. You want to find your grip on the rail before we go anywhere else. Right hand is going to come out to the shoulder block. Left hand comes on to the edge of the carriage. Root yourself down here and then lift up. Hook your right foot, and then we'll take it out. Drop the hip just a bit. Stay long through your spine. Connect to that lateral line and pike it up. Kick it open. Good. 3 more. Inhale as you take it out. exhale as you bring it in. Last one. Good. Unhook, step it down, stand it up. And that was your snake skill-based class. Thank you for joining me.